Mr. Boo.
Good evening, all you boys and ghouls. I'm Mr. Boo Entertainment Guru, and I'm not my excitable, dreamy self. No, I'm more of a nightmarish, dark version of myself, more along the lines of the occult Mr. Boo Entertainment Guru, because we are here today to discuss none other than teddy bears, whether they be good or they be naughty and bad, evil beings from another realm. Anyway, I digress. Let's move into this. This is about a trailer that dropped about a week ago. It is called Imaginary. It looks like it's a really good horror film. It's behind the people that did like Megan, Five Nights at Freddy's, The Invisible Man, The Black Phone, Blumhouse. It is about a spirit-esque type thing or a demon or something. Like they put their own twist on what an imaginary friend is, and it is something that you cling to and it clings to you, and when you grow up and leave it, well, it becomes very hostile, very violent, very bitter, very evil. Basically the story, I think, revolves around a woman who had an imaginary friend. She grew up, moved away, which now makes this imaginary friend named Chauncey not so happy. She has a child of her own, a life of her own, but she moves back into her childhood home. And Chauncey then clings to her daughter and starts playing games that aren't so fun to be had with little children, like gets her to test her limits of what she's scared of or how she feels pain. And then it's just getting darker and weirder. And like he promises this little girl that if she does these things and overcomes all these obstacles, that he's going to take her to Imaginary Land or wherever it is that he is from. And it looks great if you're a horror fan or just a movie fan in general, or you're just a fan of what Blumhouse does. The trailer is all over YouTube. Check it out. I don't think you will be disappointed, as it is very intriguing. It is a very new and unique idea. And my first initial thoughts on this is it is going to be a decent movie, a good movie at best, because it is a new idea. And if they do present the new idea in a good way, in a good light, it's going to be a great movie. But we only had one trailer so far, so I'm not going to overstep my bounds. But I did want to discuss what's got me excited about this and what's got me terrified about this. We are in a world of remakes, reboots, sequels, prequels. Let's do that again. Let's try something different with the same story. I mean, for God's sakes, there's another Willy Wonka thing, another movie about Willy Wonka. How many of them do we need? Then we've got all these superhero movies that are the same premise but different superheroes. We've got video games that are like, oh, let's remake that because, we can and it'll look prettier, but it's the exact same game. We are living in a place that doesn't have and lacks, pun intended, imagination. So, this movie's got me intrigued. The trailer, it progressively gets better, and at the end it drops a bomb on you. It's really good. But it's the premise that I like and scares the hell out of me. First, what I like, is that this, and then in a world where no one's creative, they took something as creative as an imagination and made it dark, made it sinister. We're not talking your typical possession because, another Exorcist movie, no wonder it flopped. We're not talking about ghosts and demons, but if we were, The Nun too, whoo! Some people do it right. But we're talking about a child's imagination. And what's scary about that is, what if there is an entity? It doesn't necessarily have to be an imaginary friend. What if these entities that we've all encountered in our life, we've all had an imaginary friend at one point or other, or knew someone who had one. What if there was an actual presence? What if it wasn't an imaginary friend? What if this person was a spirit, was a demon, was some sort of entity that we're not attuned to believe in all the time, that we kind of pass off as, they're having fun with their imagination. It's an imaginary friend. And what really gets me to think about the creativeness behind this is it hasn't really been done before. We've had movies with imaginary friends causing chaos like Drop Dead Fred and all of that. But what if Drop Dead Fred was like the spirit of a mental patient that was having this little girl do all these things because he thought it was funny and he thought it was great to get her in trouble. And my father, of all people, when he was a kid, had an imaginary friend who just so happened to be not so friendly, a little racist. I don't remember his name. It was weird. It was like Winky Dinky or something. But what if that was a boy, a spirit from another time era where that stuff was acceptable to say, that stuff was acceptable for? And he said he lived in his attic. The only real place that he ever could be imaginary with him is in the attic. Well, we associate basements and attics and crawl spaces with spirits, with ghosts. What I like about this is that, for one, it's different. It is a different concept altogether. No one's being possessed. No one's being haunted per se. But this malevolent spirit, this friendly thing that loved you so much as a kid and watched you grow up just to abandon it, is now watching you try to rip its new play toy, your child, away from it as well. And all it wants to do is take her with it and go play with her forever. And that's all you really get from the trailer because they don't want to give too much away, especially in the first trailer. But yes, it revolves around this Chauncey the bear that is creepy as heck. We all have had teddy bears in our lives. We've all had imaginary friends. Now, if you just think, what if those things moved? What if those things actually were like Annabelle? Like they did have something clinging onto it from another realm, and that was our imaginary friend. Something that wasn't really imaginary, but hidden within the occult of the spiritual realm. I think it's worth checking out the trailer. I think I'm going to follow the rest of the trailers as they release. Also give my thoughts and my opinions on it as it grows into its release time. But let's just all sit back and think of how creepy that is the next time you see someone talking to an imaginary friend. Is there something there? Is there someone there? Is there the essence of something there? Is there something from down there? You never know. I mean, it could just be a bit of a devil in disguise. Ugh, shudder to think what it really could be. But imaginary, great idea, great concept, great trailer. And I just wanted to throw it out there. It is so well thought out in my head that now I'm wondering, who was I talking to when I was a kid? Who was my father talking to? And it's kind of on that line to where it wants to keep me up at night. So if you've made it to the end of this video and you do want to check that trailer out, and you do agree with me about how, what if they were spirits and not really imaginary and there was something really there and all of that, and get all spooky with me, then please like this video. Probably subscribe to it if you want more to come from me, Mr. Boo Entertainment Guru. And hell, you can ring that bell, you cannot ring that bell. Who gives a crap? Maybe the imaginary friends will ring the bell for whom the bell tolls. So whether Chauncey is good or Chauncey is bad. Till next time, I'm Mr. Boo Entertainment Guru. And I'm out.